What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the weekly recap number 103. I am Jake Dunlap, CEO of Scaled. And I think we're going to keep the format. I'm actually really digging the live format. So every Friday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. What's that Pacific then? 6:30 a.m. Get your ass up, show up, have fun. We're going to talk about everything exciting in sales and marketing, everything that I'm seeing in the market, what's new, what's interesting, etc. So this week, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get involved in the chat here a little bit. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say, like, what was the highlight or new learning you had this week? So we can do a little share out here. I'm telling you guys, by the way, I get a bunch of DMs about this, that the amount of business that goes down in the comments is ridiculous. There's literally this guy, Kevin. Kevin's like, Jake, just from commenting on, like, I think it was a Zoom or something I did, I got two net new meetings. So I'm telling you all, like, don't be a stranger. What's up, Mary? How are you? I hope you're doing awesome. Hope you're having a great Friday, everybody. I'm actually taking a little, like, almost like a staycation next week. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to do a lot of writing. I'm working on the book called The Customer Framework. I'll tell you all about it. So, all right. So this week, let me just tell you a little bit about the week. So like I said, really exciting week for Scaled. We actually have a few new hires that started. We've got Catherine Caldwell, who started as a sales development representative. So I'm really excited. We've actually never had, we're a services company, right? So we're a little bit different. We've actually never had a full-time sales development person. So, from a business standpoint, things are great. Things are moving in the right direction. And so we hired Catherine to really double down on that. So Catherine, we're super pumped to have you. We also hired from Market Source, Mr. Mike Race. So very excited to have Mike. Mike brings, 20 plus years of industry experience. He's going to help us to build out our enterprise practice. So anybody who is looking to optimize their sales process, sales organization, we've got the dream team. So really excited about that. This week, by just a show of hands, hopefully kind of virtual hands, I really hope that a lot of you are able to tune into the LinkedIn Live we did on Monday. So if you don't know, every Monday, 12 o'clock Eastern, I do a LinkedIn Live. It's either an Ask Me Anything or I'll bring in a friend or a guest. And this week I had Marco Greenberg on. If you don't know Marco wrote a book. He wrote this book, Primitive. Let's see if I don't know if we were able to, we're going to try some new stuff here on StreamYard as well too. So Marco wrote a big book. Mary closed 3 clients. That's what I'm talking about. Nice work, right? Nice work there. Karen tested negative for COVID. Love that. So from a book standpoint, Primitive really just talks about what actually motivates people, what actually drives us to do what we do, and really the most successful people in the world. And so what I really liked about Marco's book, and if you didn't do it, and Shelby, can we drop the link to the book as well too? So drop the link in there because I think if you're looking for a new read, I'm telling you, like, I've already started on it. He shipped me a copy. It's a really great book that I think a lot of you can have some almost like immediate takeaways from about like staying motivated. So that was a lot of fun on Monday. Again, always trying to look for that edge. What's next? On Wednesday, actually, I think it was Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I did a webinar with the team at Vidyard, Outreach, and Adobe. In that webinar, we covered a couple different things, but I talked a lot about how to use video in outbound. So if you're thinking about video, or even, hey, like I said, I'll have a little bit of time for Q&A here at the end. You can feel free to kind of drop a few questions about it. But if you're thinking about using video, you're just missing out if not. I mean, it's just like, it's just too amazing. I love this. Everyone's closing deals. This is so great, right? All right. Attended the Sales Growth Live event. That's great, Mary. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. All right. Gerard is doing an event for insurance agents across the Caribbean. That's fantastic. So again, if you want to know more about video, check out the event from Wednesday. It was pretty fun. So, all right. So this week's Jake's Take. So this is just something that I've either observed or seen on a consistent basis that I think is worth commenting on. So there's kind of two topics in here. The first is unfollowing people and curating a digital world that makes you happy. Too often, what I see is people who get upset or pissed or whatever it is about, or annoyed about social media or LinkedIn or whatever it is. My friends, just hit unfollow. There's absolutely no point. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a guy put it in his post. He's like, Jake, there's nothing better than a hate follow. And I'm like, well, sure. You know, if there's somebody that like, they're so ridiculous that it gives you, there's some like humor involved, then sure, great, follow. But I think a lot of you would be very wise to start unfollowing more and more people. Okay. It will make you happier, etc. The other thing I want you to think about is when you're producing content on social media, don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about engagement. Don't worry about any of it. I think that the number one thing to think about is when you're posting, you're also doing it for yourself. You're doing it to like share and to share what you have to offer. And you'll hone that over time, what that feels like. But I think for a lot of you, you know, my big advice is don't focus on the likes. Don't focus on engagement. Focus on producing content that you love first. And then hopefully you'll find an audience for it, right? I don't know. I can't promise you'll find an audience, right? So think about that. Curate an audience you want, produce content for an audience. That's my take this week. All right, this week's in the news. So again, segment 3 is always in the news. Couple different things. So let's talk a little bit about other social media platforms, right? So let's talk a little bit about Facebook, right? And what's happening with Facebook. We've got to talk about TikTok too. So if you all don't know, I mean, TikTok is starting to head toward, and TikTok has been by far the most up and coming app in the last, call it like year. And a lot of them B2B are like, yeah, I'm not sure, but it was definitely headed to be that way. Well, as of yesterday, they pulled likes and views. They were banned in India a few days ago, and it's really starting to look like TikTok might have some pretty massive hurdles. And so same thing with Facebook, right? Derek Johnson, president of the NAACP, called Facebook a breeding ground for hate, right? And for me, like, I'm all for free speech, and everyone should have an opportunity to voice their opinion, whether I agree with it or not, or adamantly disagree or am anti it. But I think the big piece is, like, as a business, know what platforms that you're on stand for, right? So TikTok, for example, again, has also been a breeding ground for some of this hate. And there's some, if you look what the founders had done, there's some some details out there about some things that the founders had said. Same thing with Facebook, right? More and more companies are starting, Coca-Cola, Ford, Patagonia are pulling advertisements from Facebook, right? So pay attention, right? Pay attention. I don't think LinkedIn's up to too much, but there's enough out there that, again, be informed. Be informed about what's happening. Be informed about what's going down. Make sure you have, make sure you have an idea of what that's like. Jeremy said, love the interview with Marco. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I love that conversation. Marco and I, we met almost 10 years ago at CrossFit. So I used to be an avid CrossFitter. And then, like a lot of people, like, once you get injured in CrossFit, you're like, and you can't get back to that level, you're just like, I quit. So I'm like, I'm just going to go to Equinox. It's easier. So, all right. So then this week's Ask Jake Anything. Okay. So I've got 2 questions in here. I'm going to take both of them. Where should someone start when strategizing for outbound without leads from zero? From anonymous on LinkedIn. Can someone be? I don't think you can be anonymous on LinkedIn. Well, somehow they did it. John Blake says that his reps are using video on Facebook and LinkedIn, and it's working. I don't doubt that at all, John. Again, I think video is a super, super powerful medium. So when starting from scratch from any type of lead generation, okay, and I want you all to mark this down. The most important thing you can do is nail your target audience. What I see time and time again is that people just rush into it. Jake, we work with startups. Jake, we work with tech companies. Jake, we work with blah. And they don't get smart about it. They don't really think through, I work with startups that look like this, that have these characteristics. And so what happens is, when you're starting to go out to market, the analogy I always make is the difference between going northwest and northeast. That in the beginning, it's a micro step. But as you start to go over time, you end up in completely different parts of the world. And so I think when you're starting to go outbound, the number one thing you can do is narrow in on the market. And then there's a bunch of tools out there that you can use here. I'll tag a few of them in here just for y'all to take a look at. There's like I think it's called Get Lucia. Y'all can correct me if that's right or not. I think it's called Get Lucia. There's another one called Lead IQ. That'd be another one. Lead IQ. There you go. Check this out for outbound. So if you're starting to go outbound, check this out for outbound. Need help. So I would check that out. And then there's another one called Get Lucia. I can't find it on LinkedIn, but you can check that out too. And then obviously LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a no-brainer. Just you can do a lot of searching there. So that's my advice. If you're starting to go outbound, or if you want to know why your outbound's not working or your lead gen's not working, almost without fail, retrace your steps back to the beginning. How nailed do you have your customer persona? And we've got a bunch of different buyer persona workshops and different things we do, but it's what keeps these people up at night. What are their actual goals of this role? Like, how's this role compensated? If you don't know all of that, your messaging is not going to work because you don't know the person that you're actually selling to. All right, next questions from my man, James Mackey. What's up, James? We'll tag James in here, tell him that we're answering his question live. And again, if y'all have some random questions, I'm going to be dropping out. I don't know. We'll see how much time. We'll see how I'm feeling here. I'm just going to say, James, answering your question live now. All right. Perfect. Let me know. Do me a favor. Toss a thumbs up if you guys use Sales Navigator on a day-to-day basis. I'm really curious about Sales Nav because I think a lot of people are really underutilizing Sales Navigator right now. So if you're using it, let me know. I just want to get a sense because I might actually talk about some more strategy around Sales Nav and some different things you can do there. He says, for optimal results, how many hours should someone invest per week on their LinkedIn? Content creation, responding to comments, engaging onto those posts. Oh man, dude, it depends on your role. I don't really have like a set, I think if you're doing pure outbound, I think you should be spending 2 to 3 hours a day. I might be crazy for some of you, but if you're doing pure outbound, I don't think there's any other place I would be investing time, right? I would still be making my calls and doing my emails and all that, but I can literally build out a list in Sales Navigator. And again, let me know if you're using Sales Nav or not. I can build out a list in Sales Navigator. I can then see who's posted content. I can go interact with that in real time. I can set up my homepage, just look at people that have shared. I can look at people that have viewed my profile. So I feel like if I'm doing demand gen, I'm probably spending 2-3 hours a day on LinkedIn. So again, make sure your audience is there, right? So that's, that's a helpful. Adrian Frumberg. What is up, Adrian? Adrian's dropping in. Adrian's a good friend of mine from New York. What's going on, Adrian? Zach and John asking for some Sales Nav strategies. Shit, man. All right. Well, maybe we'll do something fun today. Maybe I'll hop in there. People have to accept my connection request, circle back to accounts posted in 30 days. And I'd say 50 times those accounts actually haven't posted. Yeah, Travis, that happens, dude. That's just a part of like LinkedIn. I don't know why that actually happens, but it just is what it is. So again, this weekend, awesome. New hires for sure. I'm super pumped to have Catherine and Mike. And I think Shelby will drop her links. Make sure to give them a follow. They're going to be doing some awesome stuff on social media here coming up. And then last but not least, upcoming events. So yes, I will be doing Jake and Friends on Monday. So again, 12 o'clock Eastern. I'll also do a weekly recap at the end of the week. So make sure 9:30 Eastern on Fridays, 12 Eastern on Mondays. Jake live, tune in, mark it in your calendar, write it in there, put a little invite. If I could send you a calendar invite, I would virtually. But I'm going to talk this week about transitions and leveling up. So I'm going to try to walk through kind of my career, how did I make the transition from college to professional life, what worked, what didn't work, how I got fired for telling my boss to fuck off, how I then rebounded and got another job in a different industry in tech, how I got promoted to leadership, how I then got promoted to VP of sales, etc. So I find by sharing a little bit about my background, there's a lot of learning. So if you are in a transition period in your career, if you're trying to think about how to get to the next level, make sure to tune in next week for that. Again, 12 o'clock Eastern. And Shelby, can we drop the link, please, to sign up? So you can sign up for that. We do it on Zoom and LinkedIn Live. So that's always a good place to come find us. All right. So That, my friends, is weekly recap number 103. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys some gangster advice on LinkedIn Sales Navigator right now. Okay. Becky Hagan, what's going on, Becky? Great to see you as usual. All right. So I'm going to pull up Sales Nav real quick. You guys are going to, man, look at this. You're like, Jake, I didn't know I was signing up to get some Sales Nav training today. Oh my gosh. Yes, you are. Okay. So share screen. Let me pull it up. It's going to show some infinite loop here. There you go. Okay. Let me know. I'll take a look on LinkedIn to make sure you guys can see this. Again, toss me a little thumbs up if you can make sure that you see Sales Navigator on your LinkedIn stream. Because I didn't set up a second screen today, which was kind of stupid in retrospect. So just let me know. I'm just going to click over to LinkedIn to make sure I can see it live. And then I'm going to hop on Sales Nav here. Okay, perfect. Y'all can see it. All right. Oh, Brian Frumberg's in the house. We got both Frumbergs in the house. I love that shit. My favorites. All right, cool. So here, I'm going to show you some real cool stuff on Sales Nav that will help you to generate more meetings and close more deals and do other cool stuff. So the very first thing is LinkedIn has actually made some pretty aggressive updates to alert systems. So all alerts is complete garbage. It's, it takes too much time, right? So the things I want you to look at, there's a few, okay? The first is lead shares. So every morning, whoever your leads are, and like, let's say at Anthony, like, I think it's really important to curate your feed. So again, here's, Catherine Daly, business development manager, but like, let's just see. So the cool part is, check this out. So again, this is a new feature. You can click view and I can go straight to the post and comment right now. And shared stories we landed in sales drives us. They come blah 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 blah. Right. So again, if you want to comment, you can go do that. So this is a really easy one. Again, you can go over, here you go. Come join the rocket ship. Right. So you could go comment. Commenting on people's posts, guys, it's like a really important piece. Leads that have changed jobs. When people change jobs, it's also an indicator that they're, interested in maybe new solutions. So do that. Obviously, leads that have engaged with your content, that's a no-brainer. So come and use that. So this is kind of where your epicenter should be from Sales Nav. Then the other thing I'll just show you here is that, again, for the most part, people don't get comments on their posts. So if you go in and you comment on people's posts, they're going to remember you, right? So I'm just going to pull up a random person here. Here's Mary Di Guerin. And again, just calling out what Travis said. So stupid. So again, LinkedIn tells you that she's posted in the last 30 days, but she has not. So I still don't understand how they can't get that part right. So, but again, so this is it. So you guys can see this. Check this out. Again, nobody comments on people's posts. Here you go. Cyber. Oh, we're looking for this person. Jackson D. Right. So I could comment on the post. Hey, great. Yeah. Hey, I'll share with my network, whatever it is. But commenting on LinkedIn posts is one of the easiest ways to get engagement. The other kind of pro tip I'll give you all is you can only do it on the mobile app. Okay. But you can actually, when someone's a first degree connection, you can actually DM them a voicemail or DM them a video. So I would be doing a lot of that. So interact with people, etc. That would be my kind of like my go-to. So that's it. Sales Nav can be a really, really powerful tool. Again, I think just a lot of people just sleep on it, or they're sending in-mails. Do not send in-mails, please. Don't waste your time. Don't send in-mails. It's a waste of time. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I got an argument with the people at Sales Navigator. I was like, look, I told one of our clients, I was like, do not waste your time. And much love to everyone at Sales Navigator. I love the product. As you can see, I'm literally sitting here talking about it. But your sales team does not even know how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? They're sitting here training you on how to, that you shouldn't connect with people if you don't know them. What? What, were you going to send an in-mail? I'm going to send some stupid in-mail that shows up? No, I'm going to try to connect with people. So my friends, do not listen to that. Try to connect with as many people as possible. All right. So that, my friends, is weekly recap number 103. 103 is also a very special number to me there's a radio station. I don't know if we've got any Kansas City folks in here. If you're from Kansas City or you lived in Kansas City, there's a radio station called Hot 103.3 Jams. And so in high school, I was thinking about this morning. In high school, I had a bumper sticker, and like their tagline was Hot 103.3 Jams, and don't forget to slam that Z. And so I had a bumper sticker of this, okay? And I remember I was dating this girl, and I showed up at her house, and later she told me, she's like, my dad is like, why does he have a Hot 103.3 Jams bumper sticker? I'm like, I don't know. I thought it. Why would you have a bumper sticker of a radio station? Who knows, dude? I don't know. But Hot 103.3 Jams is still out there holding it down. So that's the recap, number 103. Go check out Hot 103.3 Jams if you don't know what I'm talking about. Have a great, amazing weekend. Like I said, I'm going to be kind of out the next week. I'm going to be doing a lot of writing, working on our book, The Customer Framework, which is really just a completely new way to think about a sales methodology. Happy to share insights as we go along. So I'm super excited for that, hoping to release early next year. So I need to just take some Jake time, go do that. Maybe I'll go golf. Maybe I'll hang out. Maybe I'll go on a boat. I don't know. So check it out on Instagram. You might want to check. You guys can follow along on Instagram. I'm starting to get pretty active on Instagram stories. If you want, Shelby, can you drop my link to my Instagram in there too? And then you can do that. Brian Frumberg shouting out. All right, someone, hip hop and R&B. That's right. You know what's up for Hot 103.3 Jams. So again, everyone, have a great weekend. Follow along next week on Instagram. Shelby's going to drop the link in here right now. And as we always say at the end, I'm out.